Namaste, friends. I'm Nettie. Today we'll be flowing through a moon salutation. I love it for two reasons. One, it's safe for pregnancy, and two, it's a less stimulating flow that can be used for men or for women, but especially for women around the cycle. The first part of class, I will walk you through how to do a moon salutation with breath and alignment cues. The second part of class is up to you. You take as many moon salutations as you're comfortable with, and I will read some words from the Bible and give you a few prompts for meditation to complete your class. Let's start lengthways on the mat, a little bit different, in mountain pose. Both feet face 12 o'clock. Inner arches lifting off the mat so all four corners of the feet can press into the mat, toes wide. Engaging the muscles of the legs, hugging in from the skin to the muscle to the bone. Neutral pelvis, meaning the pointy parts of our hips and the pubic bones are in one plane. Engaged core, knitting the lower ribs in. Upper arm bones back, shoulder blades press back and down into the spine, lengthening the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Start to bring the breath in through the nose, fill up all the corners of the lungs, expand the abdomen, hold. Exhale in reverse, contracting the abdomen, releasing the flow of air up through the throat and back out the nose. Take a few more cycles of breath just like this. In through the nose, long, smooth, slow inhales. Hold. Out through the nose. Complete, round, full exhales. On the next inhale, we'll bring our arms up overhead, pressing down into the mat with our feet, reaching our hands towards the ceiling. Exhale the hands again to the midline of the body. On the next inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Step out wide on your mat, toes out, heels in, goddess pose, knees over ankles, elbows in this W shape, broadening across the chest, opening the heart. Crown of the head shining towards the ceiling, little tiny chuck in the chin. Inhale, reach out in both directions, straightening the knees, coming into star pose. All muscles are engaged. Squeeze the fingertips together. Spread your toes out on the mat, lifting in your arches. Turn your left foot towards the long edge of your mat, your right foot towards the short edge of your mat. Reach with your right hand towards the short of your mat. Reach, 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 allowing the left hip to pull open. And then windmill the arms, heavy head, so that the neck can be nice and open. Left shoulder opening up towards the ceiling to stack both shoulders. Same with the hip, stacking the joints. Nice and soft knees. We don't want to overstrain our joints here. Inhale, reach. Exhale, take the left hand down towards your mat for pyramid pose, adjusting your foot pattern. Front foot still facing the short edge of your mat. Back foot is at a 45-degree angle so that your hips can come into alignment. Long, straight spine, neck and natural extension of the spine, so the chin might need to be tucked here. If you have props to bring the mat up to you, great, go ahead and use them. Soften the joints. You can also use your own body to support yourself as long as you're not dumping your weight. Exhale, come into low lunge. Left foot tucked under, hips in alignment, ribs knit in. Inhale the arms up and overhead, shoulders roll down and back into the spine, shining the heart towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach. Exhale, come down to your mat into Skandasana on the right side. So right knee bent, left leg long. Left toes can come off the mat. Nice straight spine here. Maybe shifting your weight backwards and breathe into your hips. In through the nose, out through the nose. On the next inhale, we'll reach up into low squat. Again, knees over ankles, neutral pelvis, ribs in, shoulders down and back. Hands can be at the midline, pressing into one another, engaging the arms. Total body engagement. Skandasana to the second side. Trying to lengthen through the spine as long as possible and breathe into your hips. Lifting your left arch off of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come around for low lunge on the second side. Right toes tucked under. This is for engagement. Inhale the arms up overhead, checking in with the shoulders and the hips. Inhale, reach, lengthen, open, create space. Exhale, come down to the mat, pyramid pose on the second side. Right toes this time facing at a 45-degree angle, aligning the hips, soften the knee joint, long spine. Meeting your body where it is. God always meets us where we are in life, and we should extend the same grace to ourselves. On the next inhale, adjusting the foot pattern and finding triangle pose on the second side. Heavy head, soft neck. The neck is not in control here. Opening the right hip, right shoulder to stack on the left hip and left shoulder. If you need to raise higher to make the spine straight and be long in both side bodies, please go ahead and do that. On the next inhale, we'll come into star pose. Toes out, heels in. Squeezing the fingertips together, hugging all the muscles into the bone. Exhale, goddess pose. This pose does not need to be especially turned out or deep. What we're looking for is a neutral pelvis and the ribs in so that the abdomen and the core can naturally engage. Coming up together for extended mountain pose on your inhale. Exhale, mountain pose. Now we'll do that all again on the second side. Inhale, extended mountain pose. Exhale, goddess pose. Drop into your breath. Inhale, star pose, reaching both hands away from one another. Crown of the head reaching towards the ceiling as the tailbone descends. Adjusting the foot pattern towards the left side. Check in with your joints. Check in with your core. Check in with your jaw. Is it tight? Pyramid pose, taking the top hand down to the mat. Maybe bringing your feet out so that they're on railroad tracks as opposed to a tight rope, so that we can align the hips properly, making space for the diaphragm so we can breathe. Inhale, lengthen from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Exhale, come into low lunge on the left side. Back foot tucked under. Arms raise overhead, maybe a slight back bend this time. Reaching that left hip down and back. Skandasana on the left side. Feeling the body start to warm up even though we're not moving quickly. Inhale, come into high squat. pulling the two pubic bones together, pulling the ribs together, shoulders down and back. Skandasana on an exhale. Sending your breath deep into the body, all the way to your hips, as if you could breathe into your hips. Inhale, come around for low lunge on the right side. Making sure there's enough space and distance between your hips to open up and find that neutral pelvis. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, come down to your mat, widening your stance, pyramid pose, right foot facing the short edge of the mat, left foot facing a 45-degree angle, rooting down through all four corners of the feet, arches lifting, soft joints. We don't want any strain in the joints. On the next inhale, opening up for pyramid pose. That might mean bringing your left leg back. That might mean leaving it exactly where it is. Total body engagement here as well, but the breathing is easy and free. On the next inhale, coming up to star pose. If at any point we lose our breath, we lose our practice, so we need to back off in intensity. Goddess pose. In through the nose, out through the nose. Inhale, extended mountain pose. Exhale, mountain pose. As you continue moving through moon salutation, consider these two verses. The first, Luke 2:18. Mary, at her annunciation, kept all these things, pondering them in her heart. The second, Luke 2:51, after searching for Jesus for 3 days, at 12 years old, finding him in the temple, she kept all these things in her heart. Many times we focus more on solving all of our own problems, worrying about them, complaining about them, grasping for a false sense of control. But Mary gives us the loving example of total surrender and complete trust in God, her Father, by really praying through the events in her life to understand how the Lord's hand is forming and guiding her through these difficult and wondrous experiences. How can you conform your life more and more to God's plan? Maybe it is accepting a situation in your life, realizing that it is beyond your understanding, and patiently waiting for God to show you its meaning in due time. Maybe it's taking one tiny step in trust and surrender. Maybe it's living life from the perspective of wonderment, marvel, curiosity. Is there one thing that you can keep today and ponder in your heart? Please continue moving your body in moon salutation until you feel complete. Thank you for your practice, and until we meet again, my grace and peace.